Lake Keveran is now 100% complete, and boy is it as beautiful as ever. So, what am I doing now? I'm covering the upper reaches. And here's an air taxi zipping by at 384 miles an hour. You could see others out here much more clearly when you look at these right there, for example. There's another one there. And you'll find quite a few air taxis around here. They're quite common in Platform Master's scenery. Because after all, they are the vehicle of the future, in a sense. So, I guess that's otherwise high enough for now. Because the rest of the scenery is pretty much unchanged from what it was. The last time I showed you the Lake Keveran scenery. Oh man, that was nice. So, how would you like to see Lake Keveran as it is 100% complete? But it was 100% complete before. Well, that's because I overlooked something and that messed things up. Just watch everything zipping by. Oh my goodness, that is so fast. And of course, that's not exactly what I'm really after. For one, you can actually see all kinds of sailboats zipping by. Out on the lake bottom here, you can see this very nice texture here. Man, that is a really nice texture. Of course, from up here, you can actually see the a gradient here. And of course, you'll see sailboats zipping by. You know, I'll cover those sailboats, except I jumped a little too high. So, I want you to remember this particular sailboat. Let me get in a better position. This one's called The Platform Master. It has nothing to do with the documentary either. It's based on platform masters, as in you're a master of platforms. But that aside, here you could see a basic little level in a sense, a gold platform here, and the word that stands out among everything else, scenic. You should see Lake Keveran from its most beautiful views. The Balloon Festival, nothing more than a bunch of balloons really. But it's a nice sailboat at least. Night Wanderer. Here's a moon with a bunch of stars, and you otherwise really can't see much there. Roy G. Biv. Well, nothing more than a rainbow. That's all that one is. Sun and Surf. Here's some surfboards, one really close, and you got that star that causes tanning. Laboratory Tester. Lots of various lab tests type stuff, and here's some test tubes with some weird liquids and substances in there. Piece of carbon here that's black, and of course you got some test beaker here, and an assortment of other such things, even a Bunsen burner. Scuba diver, someone doing some scuba diving. This one's my top favorite of them all, and that's Space Explorer. This one is a gas giant. Here's an Earth-like planet. Here's a star those planets orbit around, and here's a kid-style spaceship with a flame coming out of it. Storm Master involves a really wavy ocean with lightning coming from dark, ominous clouds, typical of storms. Moose and Miner is basically like a gold mine in a sense. Here's a rock with some gold on it, a minecart with some rocks in there that might contain gold, a track with some ponds out in far distance. Home Sweet Home involves a road, a house with a car right next to it. That's just a simple one. Cloudborne is nothing but clouds. Here's that Space Explorer with 4 times as far. And that's every single one of those sailboats. So what about the upper reaches then? Well, I'll walk you through these two. Of course, this is where it really gets very pretty as far as the scenery goes. From about 1,000, or actually 800 to about 1,400 feet above the waves is where it's the best. The scene is the best, that is. This is about 1,400. For one, you can see various beaches here, like this one's really crowded, and other areas are not. So yeah, there's some wide density, made in part because of these roads here. There's a gravel road here, with other extensions from there, so you can get onto the beach or get off of the beach when you're done. Various houses out in the distance there. And that's pretty much really all there is to the scenery. And of course, if you look up here, sometimes you'll see an air taxi zipping by, like this right there. But yep, this is Lake Keveran in its full glory. You remember the updated About page on Platform Master's website, right? And how it has swim in a beautiful lake? Well, this really says beautiful. Especially this part all right in here, the bottom portion of the screen. That is so nice. I love that view. And in fact, when I tried going to bed that one day, when I had this, I had a hard time going to sleep because I couldn't get this scene off my mind because it was just so gorgeous. However, that's really pretty much about it. Don't you wish you could just fly over the lake like this, almost the speed of sound? And still going faster, there's the speed of sound. Still cranking up the speedometer. But anyway, this video was created by Ulillillia. Thank you for watching, and enjoy this super high speed fall.